The Worlds of Jack Vance. What's that?
The Worlds of Jack Vance is an ace paperback, which is a collection of some of his stories.
And the Best of Jack Vance.
The Best of Jack Vance, a pocket book introduced by Barry Malzberg. And in that introduction, Malzberg says the following about Jack Vance. To the best of my knowledge, he has never entered the social life of science fiction, preferring to live iconoclastically and well in the far west, where he has let his work, and only his work, make a contribution. I cannot recall any other writer in science fiction who has managed to make a similar reputation without self-promotion and social involvement in the field's interstices, which makes even more of a statement as to the value of his fiction. Then Malzberg says, Jack Vance is remarkable. His landscapes are wholly imagined. His grasp of the fact that future or other worlds will not be merely extensions of our own, but entirely alien, has never been exceeded in this field. He is also one of only two writers, the other is the brilliant short story writer Avram Davidson, to have won both science fiction's Hugo Award and the Edgar Award of the Mystery Writers of America, the latter for Best First Novel back in the mid-'60s. His real name is John Holbrook. Jack Vance has had, as John Holbrook, an impressive parallel career as a mystery novelist. So I guess the first question, Jack, well, the first statement is welcome to Hour 25, and the second question is why do the show, and why not continue to let your work speak for you?
Whim. There's no reason to be consistent as far as I can see.
Hobgoblin the small mind. Yeah. Why the avoidance of publicity? Is it simply the refusal just to let the work speak?
Well, explaining to my friends here tonight, it seems that when you're writing fantasy, especially fantasy, or fiction of any sort, whatever, you're creating a kind of a world which you are asking the reader to believe in. This reader's credibility is very fragile and easily fractured. Now, if you interpose between the reader and this world which you're asking to believe in, this image of yourself, then you diminish your chances of having the reader believe in this world you're creating. For the best effects, to get the best out of your work, you have to have the reader, let's see, how should we say this, divorced from all these handicaps of having this face of the writer in between him and the work. I think too many writers get conned by the publisher into supplying all this publicity for themselves, and it all appears on the cover, all their biography, their pictures, their foibles, and essentially what they do is make themselves very ordinary types. And the reader isn't really interested in having the writer of something which he believes in appear as an ordinary type. The reader would like to think of a book which he likes very much to be an extraordinary type. Now, here is the proof in the back cover, where the chap is revealed as maybe he's got Hodgkin's disease or some kind of a deformity or something weird about him. Bubble is broken, just like that. So, just out of the sheer mechanics of trying to produce a believable fantasy, in my opinion, you're well advised to keep your own personality out as far away from it.
I wouldn't think that would apply in your case. It must be about 6'6" and let's say 18 or 20. I imagine you've been writing for only a few years, and that incredible black mustache of yours it must be at least a 2-foot spread when you spread it out.
That's all fake. I put that on just in case there's any photographers down here. But I see they're not. I'm going to pull it off now. Where's my red mustache?
Actually 4'3".
His mustache is 4'3".
Actually, I'm told that Philip Dick saw me.
Where are we on there? Suddenly I get sound in the earphones. Were we on the air?
Yeah, the earphones are...
You thought I was a big game hunter instead of just a mere pathetic science fiction writer.
That's why you're wearing the horn.
No, it's, maybe I'm overstating this.
No.
But in order to get a point across, sometimes you have to over-dramatize, overstate.
And many of the writers say, let my work speak for me. And yet they will at the same time not avoid fans. They will not go out of their way. And yet the personality does both form and deform their work.
Exactly. I couldn't have expressed it better than this.
Are you interested in success?
That's damn right.
Well, in what does your success consist?
Well, very large bank account.
But not that kind of adulation or
no, I'm not.
Or multiple guest appearances.
No, my vanity is secure, but I'd like to see this vanity translated into some dollar bills at the end of the month. I'm not interested really in popularity, whatever you want to call it.
You've won 2 Hugos. You won for The Dragon Masters, I believe, and for The Last Castle. Does winning the Hugos, which may or may not have a monetary effect on your future writings, and I'm beginning to wonder if it does sometimes, is that the sort of gratification that you're after, etc.?
Well, you can't help appreciating any notice taken of your work. I mean, as something Barry Malzberg said in this, I appreciate it. It's impossible not to have a glow of satisfaction, because what it means is that you have communicated with, you have tried to do something, somebody's appreciated. All right, you have made a success in this particular case here. You can't, you can't lose there. Now, the Hugos mean a kind of a recognition in the same way. However, it's a kind of a bittersweet kind of a recognition, because sometimes you say, well, I didn't deserve that Hugo, but I deserved a Hugo for this, which I didn't get, you see.
Yeah.
In other words, these people, much as it's nice to get these awards, is how come I didn't get the award for this, or how come I didn't get the award for that, or how come I wasn't put in jail for this, or something like that, you see. Sometimes you get praise for the right things or the wrong things. So I think after you've been writing for a certain period of time, you get a little bit calloused toward these things, and if you don't get them, you don't care. If you do get them, well, that's nice.
But really, it comes down to the people who buy, who read the books, who believe in the worlds which you create. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I would think so. It's essentially, I try to do the best work I can. When I was quite young, I thought I would try to be what do you call these writers that turn out 1 million words a year?
A hack?
Not necessarily a hack, because Max Brand was a magnificent writer. And although he was 1 million word a year, a million year a worder, a million. Anyway, he produced millions of words a year. You couldn't call him a hack because his work was so great, you know. But anyway, I thought I'd try to produce lots of words. So I started, one time, I knocked out 2 short stories in the weekend.